Hey everybody, and welcome back to another LeetCode video. This one is 1108, which is an easy LeetCode problem called Defanging an IP address. So very simply put, what that's going to be is given a valid IPv4 address, we want to return a defanged version of that address. Defanged meaning replacing every period with a period in square brackets. So the simple example that they provided is, 1.1.1.1. That would be replaced by the same thing, but each period is surrounded in square brackets. Okay, so simple enough. We want to just think about the simplest thing we have to do here. We can create a variable called defanged, which will hold this new version of the string that we're going to be creating. And then what we're going to do is go through each character inside of that string and check if it's a period. When it is a period, we're going to replace it with a period in square brackets. And otherwise, we're just going to make a copy of the current character. So we can just create an empty string here. There's a few different ways to loop through. First of all, I'll just put return to return our string, just so we don't forget that going forward. It's something that's pretty easy to do, especially in an interview environment. So what I was saying was there's plenty of ways to loop through a string in Swift. My favorite is for in. In this case, we would just be getting char, which is short for character, which represent each character in the string, and we're going to check if that character is a period. We want to append to defanged a period, but surrounded by brackets. And then in basically all other cases, we want to just append that character back to in the same way that it came in. So we're not editing that at all. So just kind of running through this real quick. On one, we would go into the else clause and just append one. When we hit a period, we would get the period surrounded by square brackets that we'd expect. So we can just run it here and see if we get what we expect. We do. We can go ahead and submit it and see what the time complexity comes back looking like. We know that it's going to be linear, and that's kind of the baseline for this, because in any solution that you would come up with, you would have to look at every character anyways. And so time complexity is always going to be at least linear, so big O of n. And in our case, we're keeping a variable that's just also the size of the original string that comes in. So time and space complexity would both be big O of n. So it came back as 4 milliseconds. Don't look at that too much, because sometimes depending on the load on the servers, the same solution will come back faster or slower. One potential optimization is if you could edit the string in place rather than keeping a value. You could do that pretty simply with a library function, a function that already exists in string, which would be simply return address dot replacing occurrences of periods with a period surrounded by square brackets. So this just takes what we were doing as a one-liner. It loops through the string. Anytime it sees a period, it replaces it with whatever we provide there, which is, in our case, a period surrounded by square brackets. We run it, it still works. If we submit it to compare, apparently it takes the same amount of time, and we didn't save any space. So under the hood, it might be making a temporary copy like we are. This wouldn't exactly fly in a interview, but it might be worth just mentioning as overall general knowledge of iOS, of Swift, especially if you're looking at an iOS specific position. But this is not something that you would submit early. You could expect this maybe as like the first problem in a phone interview to kind of warm you up, and then expect a little bit of a tougher question going past that. This should only take you about 5 or 10 minutes if you're unaware. So thanks for watching. If this video helped you, click the like button. If you want to see more LeetCode videos, please subscribe. And otherwise, leave a comment if there's any questions that you have. And thanks for watching another one of my videos. See you guys next time.